friends, and welcome to my kitchen on the Oregon coast. Today I'm going to be making buttermilk garlic chicken. And so I'm going to start off by brining the chicken, and this has to brine for at least 24 hours. So I'm just going to get going on it now. And in this bowl I have about 2 cups of buttermilk. I have a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, and then about 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to whisk that all together. And this is going to really make the chicken very tender and wonderful. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just going to put it right in this bowl. And if you're one of those people who washes their chicken, please stop doing that.
Yeah, it's
not
really
worth it. It's really not worth it, man. Like, apparently there have been studies that have shown that washing your chicken can spread germs all over your kitchen, and that's just not a good thing.
Yeah.
So we are doing this as gingerly as possible, as carefully as possible, and we're coating everything really well, and it's just going to go into the refrigerator covered and do its thing for a day.
These chicken legs are real big.
Yeah, these are really huge.
Huge. Humongous.
Need to think about maybe going to a butcher because these grocery store chickens are weird to me. All right, so this is all we're going to do. And we're just going to let this hang out and become friendly with everything for one day. And then we'll be back. Hi friends, we're back. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to prep a cauliflower to go with all of this. And so this is actually going to go on the bottom shelf of the oven while everything else bakes in the middle. And I like a good generous amount of oil for this. I'm going to do a good pinch of salt right in the oil. And just going to get the cauliflower prepped and ready to go here. And I've already cleaned this. I'm surprised my dog isn't in here barking at me, but I'll take it. I will take it because, my goodness, when she gets going, it's really hard to get her to stop. And I don't like these little rusty pieces, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, frack-a-doodle. Spoke too soon. But I am prepared. I am prepared. Here you go. Please be quiet.
Enjoy your treat.
Enjoy your weird little brassica treat. She loves anything crunchy.
She does. She's so funny. She really likes squeak toys. Like those are the only toys that she'll actually play with.
But once the squeak is gone, she stops because she knows that she's unalived the toy.
Yes.
Yeah.
She loves to unalive toys, and then
Yeah.
she loses interest because they don't make noise anymore.
Yeah, there's no more challenge. Which is kind of funny because they don't really put up much of a challenge anyway.
It's because it sounds like a rat.
Yeah, it sounds like a mouse or a rat. Yeah, I mean she's part rat terrier, so that makes sense. Yeah, I'm just gonna get all of this goodness in here, and because this is cooking for so long at a low temperature, all of this will be pretty nice by the time we're done. And I like to get it all in there because a little bit of charred cauliflower is a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Really, really good. All right, so we've got that going, and I'm going to go ahead and just toss in my salted oil.
Toss in the sauce.
Oops, come on now.
Oh no. Cauliflower.
So yeah,
overboard.
because this is going low and slow, it's okay to do it in a vessel like this. If it was a higher temperature, I'd want to do it in a more even layer that just went along the bottom and wasn't stacked, but this is going to be fine. So I'm going to set this aside.
Crispy.
Yeah. Set this aside. Okay, so these are schmaltzy potatoes, but I am going to use a little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan just to get them going, because if you don't have anything under them, they
tend to stick.
They just don't come out right. So now I'm just going to cut them in half, and I'm going to place them like this on the bottom of the pan. And these are going to turn out really nice and kind of charred on the bottom. Well, not charred, but like crispy and toasty on the bottom. And they'll be nice and fluffy on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is what we want.
Nice little bit of potato for this chicken to rest on.
Yeah.
Rest and roast.
Rest and roast.
It's like how Dad used to tuck me in when I was a kid.
He said that?
He would be like, are you nice and toasty?
Oh, well, yeah.
And chicken.
Mm-hmm. One more should do it. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that is going. Okay, so now I've got these babies. And they have been sitting in their buttermilk bath for about 24 hours. You could do 48.
Rub-a-dub-dubby.
Yeah, you could do 48 if you really wanted to. I'm gonna kind of just use my hands to remove some of the excess because you don't want too much of this on your potatoes.
Rub-a-dub-dubby in the tubby.
Oh my goodness. And these are so large that I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be able to get them all in here.
Yeah, you might have to.
I might only be able to do 3. And then the last one. Maybe the last one could go on the. We could try it on the
cauliflower.
The cauliflower, yeah.
Yeah?
Why don't we do that?
Okay.
Okay. I have to figure out how to get the cauliflower. All right, I'll be right back.
We'll come back.
The thing about dark meat too is that the long cook on the dark meat really just makes it really wonderful. Like it's one of those meats that low and slow breaks it down really nicely, and it doesn't dry out, which is really nice because when you're working with chicken breast, it can dry out. Nice clean hands. All right, so these are going to go into the oven and they're both going to bake for 3 hours at 300 degrees. And we'll be back.
See you then.
Yep. All right, so we're back and look at this. Look at that.
Delicious.
Yeah, this is gonna be so good.
Delicious.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna take this one.
Nice and juicy.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of schmaltz on the potatoes. But
oh yeah.
You don't need very many. Yeah.
Those potatoes are gonna be nice and fatty.
Yeah.
And very rich.
Pretty rich, yeah. You only need a few. Okay. And then I'll take a little of that.
The cauliflower.
Cauliflower also looks beautiful. Just the way we like it. Delightful. All right. Let's see here. So I'm going to set this down and grab a knife and fork real quick.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to try a little bit of the cauliflower first. All right. Cauliflower. Mmm. Mmm.
You cannot.
So roasted. So good. Little potato. Let's see how this potato texture looks. Looks pretty good.
It's so soft you can't pick it up with a fork.
Oh. Oh, that's good.
Unctuous and delicious.
That is worth doing. Yes.
Scrape the skin. Oh wait, hold on. It's my microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's lovely. Okay.
What?
All right. Okay. Okay.
So
chicken.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, the lactic acids and everything in this really tenderize. There's really good garlic and onion flavor, as well as enough salt to really bring everything together. It's wonderful. This is a very easy passive cook. You saw what I did There's not a whole lot of lead time or a lot of prep that goes into this, but it makes for one of the best dinners. It's just one of the best dinners. So, I mean, like, share, subscribe, be excellent to each other. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Whoa.